championship. I'm great. So on F1, his fourth pole of the in P2, making his debut is P2. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the race.
There have been exciting starting to get some more action, and there were prying stings, right?
Yeah, prying some.
And he was pretty good. And how they are going to manage it.
Yep. Well, he did a great qualifying starting in P2. In P3, in the Hyundai best qualifying in the Lexus RCF. P5 we have Talunacy in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage racing for Burt. In P6, Blue Racer 7, so a bit lower than his usual performance, but I'm sure he'll come back in the race. In P7 we got the Stone Towel driving in the Porsche 911. P8 we got Yarato 84 in the Chevrolet Corvette. P9 we got Banana Cake Pie in the Hyundai Genesis. P10 we got another guy making his debut, Alex_Pato in the Toyota Supra, and rounding off the grid we got Rachel Had in the Porsche 911. So without further ado, I think we should get started. 3, 2, 1.
Yes,
start.
Let's get started.
As they wait for the lights to go out. 1 light's on, 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, as they are underway. A bit of a slow start by Ridwan, bit of a sketchy start there, but everyone seems to have gotten off the line pretty well. Into the first turn, Ridwan leads the pack as Pernas looks to be trying to put some pressure on him. They all go through the first corner pretty cleanly, no dramas. Into P2, into turn 2, you can see a bunch of them. There's 6-7 drivers right there going into the turn 2, and none of them make any contact, so pretty clean racing, good start to the race, no dramas. However, Macaulay seems to have...
there's a clean start.
Yep. Macaulay has dropped a few positions from P3 to P6, so he's not doing great. As Pernas looks like he's gonna take the lead from our championship leader, Ridwan F1. What's Ridwan gonna do? He's gonna send it, he's gonna switch it and send it down the inside, and he makes the move stick. What a move from Ridwan F1 to take back the lead of the race.
So there's I feel that new championship candidates.
Yeah, the new championship candidates really trying to make their mark on the debut.
And that's what I'm talking about. New blood is a new feel for the race, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the performance of Pernas.
Yep, and he's got a run now on Ridwan F1. He's in the toe. He's probably going to try to make a move into turn 1. What will Ridwan do? We know he's been very aggressive in the fence, so it'll be interesting to see how he fends off Pernas into the first corner. Braking later than Pernas, but yeah. Pernas does the switchback and he looks like he's going to get the move done. As he does. Ridwan
I position back, so he will fight till the end.
Yep, that's for sure. But it is an important thing to note is that Pernas is on the super soft tires. Ridwan on mediums. Yarato, who's moved up to P3, is on softs. What a start from Yarato is when he started in P8 and he's all the way up to P3 in a matter of 1.5 laps. So really strong start from him in the Chevrolet Corvette. P4 we got Blue Racer on mediums as well. P5 Christofferik on mediums. P6 Lunacy on mediums. 7 Stone Towel on mediums. Then P8 we got Pato who's on super soft, so a bit of a change. P9 Rachel Had on mediums. P10 Banana Cake Pie, who seems to have lost a few places but no damage. He's also on mediums. And rounding off the grid at the moment is Macaulay, who started in P3 and is now all the way down into P11. So a really poor start from him. Must have been caught up in an incident. Yeah, it's a real shame for him. But moving back to the front of the grid, Pernas is extending that gap over Ridwan as he is under pressure now from Yarato behind.
Yeah, Yarato is back on track, I feel. He had very good races.
Yeah.
And now he's fighting for the pole position.
And he sends it down the inside of Ridwan into turn 1. So in 2 laps, he's climbed up from P8 to P2 and overtook the championship leader. So Yerito's on the move. He's probably going to start trying to hunt down Pernis, even though Pernis is on the super soft tires.
Exactly. And Pernis is opening the gap, and Ridwan should make his move as soon as possible.
Yeah, Ridwan will
or he will lose the first place forever.
Exactly. Yeah. If Ridwan gets caught up too long behind Yerito, he's not going to be able to catch back the difference that Pernas is now making up in front. Look at the difference already. He's made such a huge gap. As Ridwan's all over the back of Yerito, it's a bit tough. They're touching, door banging, and Ridwan does push him off into the grass a little bit.
Wow.
So, bit rough there from the two of them, but just acceptable, I'd say.
There are little contacts going on.
Yeah.
And I hope there's no, one of them don't go to the grass and there will be a good fight. Because I don't want anyone to lose their places in this race for small mistakes. I really want to see the strong rivalry.
Yep. It was a bit of door banging, but no harm done. Everyone's still running, no one with damage, I think. Yep, everyone's still on course. As Pernas has really extended this gap. Last lap alone, he extended by 2.2 seconds in 1 lap. So he's really checked out here, trying to build a gap to Ridwan.
I really wonder about his strategy, because now he's using the advantage of super soft tires, and to protect his place. I really want to see his pit strategy.
Yeah, well, the requirement in this series is that you must run 7 laps on medium tires and 7 laps on soft tires a minimum, meaning you must use the softs and the medium compound of tires. And seeing as he's already on the super softs, it means he has to do a minimum of 2 stops. And we've seen a lot of drivers who've won this series in this season do only 1 stop. So I wonder if this strategy is going to backfire, or if he's going to be able to make it work by extending the gap at the start. It'll be interesting to see the different strategies play out. Has settled down, but look at this. There's 4 drivers within close proximity from Lunacy down to the Stone Tower. All 4 of them within a second of each other. As Christofferik
has
a run.
They are very close.
Yep, and Christofferik does move into P5 ahead of Lunacy, and now Lunacy's teammate Banana Cake Pie might try to take P6 as well, but he's not able to, and Lunacy maintains P6 and only drops 1 position. But these 4 are having a proper scrap, all of which are on medium tires, so equal tires mean providing a good battle.
I agree with you.
Moving back to the front, everything seems to have settled now. Ridwan has extended his gap to Yerito, as Pernas has extended his gap to Ridwan, so it's all kicking off at the front. They're all just extending gaps to each other, slowly gaining their focus, gaining their rhythm, and settling into the race.
Yes, Ridwan seems to keep his place against Yerito. So I don't know how it's going to end up till the middle of the race. Yeah,
it'll be interesting after the first pit stops as well, seeing which people go into the pit stops, and the different strategies are up for grabs. But again, looking at P5, there's a whole line of drivers from P5 to P9, all within each other's slipstream, as Banana Cake Pie pulls brakes. Banana Cake Pie is just later, and he does take P5 from his teammate Lunacy. as Lunacy gets a bit squirmish at the exit. But look at that shot, 5 drivers within probably a second, maybe 2 seconds at most. It's really good racing from them.
Yes, it's a very good racing, and we haven't seen such a competition in the first 3 series.
Yeah,
so
and the good thing
really
about it,
interesting and exciting.
Yeah, the good thing about it as well is that all the battles that we've seen are really clean. So that means it's just really good hard racing.
Yeah.
There haven't been any incidents thus far. I mean, except for Ridwan and Yerito, a bit of door banging, but nothing major.
Yes. And also still Pernus is first.
Yep. And extending his gap on the super softs, really pushing those super softs to the limit. As in P3, Yerito is followed closely followed by Blue Racer behind him. Blue Racer might be trying to get a move done into turn 1. We'll see how he does. The power of the Porsche is not very strong in a straight line, but he might still try. Nah, he's just going to stick behind for now. Probably for the better. Just trying to get the most out of the slipstream from the Corvette of Yerito.
Yep.
Meanwhile, this battle still wages on between Lunacy and Banana Cake Pie. They've braked a little bit apart from the likes of Christoph Reck, the Stone Tao, and Alex_Pato.
Yes, it's like there are 2 groups fighting for the places, Banana Cake Pie and the Lunacy, and Christopher against Stone Towel.
Yeah. And then also Yerito and Blue Racer, they're still really close to each other. One behind the other.
Yes. And the Lunacy was out of track. And now he's back again.
I missed that. Must have been trying to go for a move into that tight hairpin at the end of the straight.
And Banana Cake Pie is trying to open the gap.
Yep, as Alex Pato dives down the inside of the Stone Towel and takes P8. But he is on the super softs against the Stone Towel's medium tires, so and Ridwan is into the pits. Ridwan's the first to pull the trigger, and he goes into the pits after 7 laps, finishing his stint on the medium. So this is a definite 2-stop for Ridwan. He's definitely going to be in the pits again. Whereas the likes of Blue Racer, Yerito, and Pernas have all stayed out. So different strategy from Ridwan. He's usually going for the 1-stop and trying to beat everyone on the 1-stop. And he only emerges in P9.
He will try to use the soft tire advantage.
Yep, he's onto the super softs. Meanwhile, Christopher has also dived into the pits, and he changes from the mediums to the soft tire. The Stone Towel has also changed to soft tires, so Ridwan's on super softs from mediums, the Stone Towel on softs from mediums, and Christopher also on softs from mediums. So a bit of a variation. It's interesting to see how this will turn out for those drivers. Pulling the trigger early.
I have a prediction. Let's say, I think Pernas it's because of his first race. He just wanted to start fast. It's what I feel. I think for him. So far it worked out, but in the end, I don't know how it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's still putting on a really good show. Look at the gap he's extended to Yerito, so he might be able to hold on to this. We'll just have to wait and see how the strategy unfolds. But thus far, it's been a really good performance from him, regardless of the tires he's using.
Yeah.
As Blue Racer looks like he's pulling alongside Yerito, he's going to try into the first turn, and he does make the move. So after a few laps of shadowing Yerito, he has made a move, but Yerato looks like he's gonna take the position right back as he does send it down into turn 2. This side by side through turn 2, and Blue Racer holds around the outside. What a daring move! It's not easy to just hold it around the
Yes.
outside of that corner. So props to Blue Racer.
He again did his move.
Yeah, trademark from Blue Racer.
It's his style. We are used to it, and if he doesn't make a mistake, he really, makes the move well. But if he makes a small mistake, we saw him fall behind. So
Yeah,
I don't know. He should be careful.
he's a very, very strong driver. Like, he's incredibly fast. He just made a few unlucky mistakes in the last few rounds, which has costed him a lot. But like that move has shown, he will not let up. He will go for any move. He doesn't care who you are. He will just send it. Evidently, just send it. As
Yes.
we look, I'm gonna see how
And
Ridwan is doing after his first pit stop. He's passed Rachel ahead, but still quite a gap to the rest of the guys. At least he has free air now, so he just punches in some quick laps and can close the distance to the top runners. Jonas is already at turn 2 by the time Blue Racer and Yerato hit the first turn, so he's really checked out today. And then after 10 laps.
yeah.
But look at this battle still waging on for P4. The 3 bird drivers, Lunacy, Banana Cake Pie, and Alex Peto, who's filling in for Bodhod, who was unfortunately unable to make it today. But the 3 of them running a solid P4, 5 and 6, which is good points for the team at the moment.
Yes. Very strong team and very strong rivalry. And that's what we want to see.
Yep.
By the way, I like the livery of Perna's car.
Yeah,
It's interesting. Somehow I like it.
it's his esports team livery, TSM. That's why his name is Pernas_TSM. I'm not sure exactly which esports team it is, but it's a nice livery, I agree. As
Yeah.
Yerato has moved back into P2 ahead of Blue Racer, so the soft tires are really helping him against Blue Racer's medium tires. But look at the fuel Blue Racer has saved. He's only at half the tank, and it's lap 10. So that Porsche is really doing him some favors in terms of fuel saving.
Yes.
As he thought about going down the inside into turn 1, but thought better of it. Just sticks behind for now.
He's trying to make his move.
Yeah, slowly closing in, slowly preparing his move again. Just running his race for now. As Ridwan is closing in on the bunch ahead of P7 to P4. Slowly closing, and he's set the fastest lap last lap, 137.3. So he's really flying now, trying to close the distance to the front runners, especially having pit so early and knowing that Pernas is definitely going to do a 2-stop, having started on the super soft. So he's going to be trying to push really hard and get through this field as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Pernas is out for another lap, so it's 12th lap on the super soft. Some pretty good tire management there from Pernas, doing 12 laps on the tires that wear out the quickest, and still opening a gap to the likes of Yerato and Blue Racer.
Yes, as you said, it's not just the result of using super soft tires. There's a good driving skills over there.
Yep, that's true. He's obviously making the most out of the super softs, but then also showing his skill as a driver. And that's good to see from a debutant like Pernas making his debut in this competitive series. It's a really competitive series. Ridwan is now closed all the way up to the back of Macaulay in P7. He's just sitting behind it. Is he gonna try to send it? He sends it around the on the inside of turn 3.
Yes.
Takes P7, not waiting around for these guys to hold him up, just sending it down the inside. No questions asked.
Exactly.
I wonder how quickly he'll be able to go through this bunch though. 3 drivers lined up. It's not gonna be easy.
No, it's not.
As he pulls alongside, Lunacy is gonna send it. He sends it again on Lunacy and takes P6, so Ridwan's really trying to push now through the field, and that's why Pernas is into the pits.
Yeah.
Pernas is into the pits, and he will be changing tires and refueling, and this is Ridwan's chance to really see what he's done, what progress he's made, as he now slots into the slipstream of Banana Cake Pie.
It's time to see who is better.
Yep. Pernas is onto the medium compound and is out in P3. Pernas is out in P3, so he's made his mark on the super softs and he's come out in P3.
Wow.
Quite a distance ahead of Ridwan, so really solid stint there from Pernas, as Ridwan just went past Banana Cake Pie into P5. So with all the pit stops now from Pernas and Ridwan, Yerato inherits the lead with Blue Racer in P2, so good race from Yerato as well, starting P8, now is in P1. Really good start for the race to him.
It's really good performance from him.
As Ridwan literally jumps over a curb and pulls alongside Pato, probably going to take P4 with ease, and he does on the fresh super softs compared to 13 lap old super softs by Alex. So now Ridwan's task is to try close in on Pernas, who's on the medium set compounds, whereas now will we see Yerato dive into the pit? He has very low fuel, so I would expect him to be pitting around this lap, as he does look to be doing so. Is Blue Racer going to follow him in? No, Blue Racer stays out for another lap. He does have a lot of fuel. His tires look in good condition, so I wonder how long he'll stay out for. He inherits the lead. Classic Blue Racer. He did it in Spa. Is he going to be able to do it again in Fuji?
Yes, I hope he finishes the race with a good result, because I believe he's a good racer.
Yeah.
And he deserves to be in top positions. And I also think that we always saw Ridwan leading the race very easily, so we even didn't need to check what he was doing. But now I really wonder, what's going to be his place at the end of the race. So I'm very excited during this Fuji session.
Yeah. Yeah, as you said, Blue Racer is a great racer and he deserves the win, so he's really pushing for it now. He's on the medium set of compounds, managing his fuel well, managing his tires well. A win is possible. I think he might be able to do a one stop, and if that is the case, he probably will be able to. He has a good chance of winning this race, and it will be deserved, because like you said, he's a great racer and deserves wins. Though last lap was a 139.8 and a 138.5 by Pernas, so he's closed in by 1.3 seconds, and a 137.4 by Ridwan, who's closed in by 1.1 on Pernas. So it's all kicking off here. The top three, they're all just closing in on each other. Pernas on Blue Racer and Ridwan on Pernas. So this is gonna get good. I'm calling it now. It's gonna be a great race. As Ridwan gets really squirmish on the curb and he's lost a lot of time. He's off the track. He just managed to save that, but he's lost heaps of time now to the likes of Pernas and Blue Racer.
Yes.
Just got a bit too comfortable on the curb there, and it just sent him off the track. Lucky to have saved it there. As look at how close Pernas is now to Blue Racer. He's closed massively in this lap.
Yes, Blue Racer 7 is having a very good race. He started like, P3? P6?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And now we are seeing him P1, so it's, tough
He's
race.
driven a really good race. Though I think he is going to pit this lap, and he does, yes, he dives into the pits, and Pernas reclaims the lead. Where he was for most of this race, from lap 2 onwards, he's back into the lead. Followed by Ridwan, who's lost a lot of time because of that incident earlier. Meanwhile, further down the grid, well, not too far off, we got Banana Cake Pie, who's still yet to pit, and Alex Pato, who's also yet to pit, battling, and Pato moves into P3. Alex underscore Pato makes a move into P3 ahead of Banana Cake Pie, but he is also on the super soft, so I'm not sure why he hasn't pitted yet. You have to use both the softs and mediums, so he must do 2 pit stops. So it's odd that he hasn't pitted yet. Whereas Banana Cake Pie
interesting.
Yeah. And Banana Cake Pie is probably going to be in this lap. Look at the front wear of Banana Cake Pie, it's insane. 16 laps in the mediums. As Stone Towel is in the pits for his second pit stop. And he's probably going to be, yep, that's 15 laps he's going to be doing on the super softs. No more pit stops from the Stone Towel. He's the first driver, I think, to finish all his pit stops. Actually, Blue Racer probably,
yes.
Yeah. Blue Racer is the first guy to finish all his pit stops, only doing 1 pit stop for this race, as he pitted on lap 15. He's doing 16 laps on the softs, and he's not that far off, so again, this could be Blue Racer's race again. He has a really good chance. The Porsche won't do him any favors on the straights, but it does help him in the fuel saving, and it does help him in the last sector, so it'll be interesting to see where the likes of Pernas, Ridwan and Blue Racer finish. I think it's a 3-way show. Macaulay, Banana Cake Pie and Alex Pato all into the pits at the end of lap 16. Alex Pato switching those super softs for probably mediums, or yeah, probably mediums. Banana Cake Pie switching those mediums for presumably softs, and Macaulay also switching his mediums to presumably softs. So Lunacy is probably going to jump all of them and be, it's going to be close. He jumps majority of them. He comes out in P6 just ahead of Alex Pato, who runs really deep into turn 1, really wide, and so does Lunacy, so the 2 of them really deep into turn 1, and Banana Cake Pie has clinched 7th from that.
Yes, but all of them are just on the same move, and it's like they are following each other.
Yeah. And after all those pit stops, we see Christofferek in a podium position. So I'm not sure how long he'll stay there, but it's great to see him in the top 3.
Yes, I'm happy to see Christofferek for now in P3. He has had a very good improvement since the 3 races.
Like you said last race, at the end of last race, he is probably the driver that's improved the most over the course of the season.
Yes.
But I have seen Ridwan is closing big time on Pernus. Last lap, 1.2 seconds he's taken out of that gap, and the gap now is only 1.2 seconds as of last lap. So it's getting really close between the two of them. Wouldn't be
Yes,
surprised
he's
to
getting
see.
very close.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see Ridwan try a move next lap, or even, yeah, probably next lap.
It's like they interchanged their strategies. First, Pernus started with super softs and Ridvan mediums, and then afterwards it's interchanged. And now they are
Yeah,
fighting again for the
yeah.
P1.
Pernus started on super softs and then went to mediums, and Ridwan did the exact opposite. Started on mediums and now in super softs. And now that basically balances it out, and now we're seeing the real battle for the lead between the two of them, and they both have roughly equal amounts of fuel left. So this is the exact battle for the lead of the race.
Yes.
As Ridwan pulls alongside Pernus, is he going to be able to stick it into turn one? Defend from Pernus. Pernus did a
This
switchback
is
in the opening
exciting.
lap, and he does. Ridwan takes P1
And
away from
yes,
Pernus. So with 12 laps to go, Ridwan is in P1.
he is now trying to open the gap. And
Yeah.
it was a very good move. He just passed Pernus, and after that he did a
As we see some bump drafting between Banana Cake Pie and Lunacy, teammates of course, so some good teamwork at Burt. This is how they win championships, back-to-back championships for Burt,
yes.
and they're looking for their third in a row, so wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna move back to the front of the grid, as Ridwan and Pernus are still pretty close between each other, though they both have really low
Yes,
fuel.
they are so close.
Yeah, I'd assume that they both pit this lap. Ridwan has barely any fuel, and so does Pernus. As they do, yes, they do both pit. Now, the thing that I want to see is where Blue Racer will emerge from this. Because, remember, he's only done one stop, and he's probably only going to do one stop. Whereas these guys are going in for their second stop. And we all know that since the last update, there's been a massive increase in time in the pit stops. So, it'll be interesting to see where Blue Racer comes out. He crosses the start-finish line about now. So, let's see. He's jumped them. Blue Racer has jumped both Pernus and Ridwan. But now that's it. No more stops. It's just all out from now until the end of the race. And seeing as Blue Racer pitted earlier, his tires are going to be just that bit older, but he does start with an advantage of a bigger gap.
Right.
And in the pits, Pernus has also jumped Ridwan, so all that work that Ridwan did to pass Pernus has just gone to nothing. Pernus has jumped him thanks to the fuel efficiency of the Lexus over the Jaguar. Things have settled down now, not too many actions. They're probably the closest pair are Banana Cake Pie and Lunacy, but of course they're teammates as Banana Cake Pie runs wide. And is he gonna let his teammate by? Probably. I think they are gonna let each other by. Maybe they're gonna battle each other, I don't know. Lunacy sends it down the inside anyway and takes P5 from his teammate Banana Cake Pie. So bit of an action there.
He took it with a little mistake.
Yeah, little mistake from Banana Cake Pie costs him the position to Lunacy. As we see now, Ridwan F1 is really pushing Pernas and probably gonna make a move into turn 1 like he did on 2 laps ago.
Yeah.
He pulls alongside
They're
him.
very close.
And he's already passed. He doesn't even need to wait into the corner. He's already passed him on the straight. As Pernas makes the contact with him.
Yes.
Pernas hits him a little bit, but looks like he backs off, so no harm done. Just they do lose a little bit of time to Blue Race up front because of their battling.
Exactly.
10.5 laps to go, and Blue Racer has a bit of a gap, so I'm not sure whether Ridwan and Pernas are gonna be able to close that gap to Blue Racer, especially if they continue to battle each other. Pernas right
There
up
are,
the rear of Ridwan.
How many seconds of gap? I couldn't see the gap between Blue Racer 7 and
Between
Ridwan
Blue Racer
F1.
and Ridwan, after the last lap, it was 4.8 seconds between the two of them.
Ah, yes.
So that's a decent margin. I'll check after this lap to see how much distance has closed or opened.
After 5 laps, it will be very deterministic for the pole positions.
Yeah, the
Because
podium
Blue
position.
Racer 7's tires will be wearing off a lot.
Yeah, he did pit in lap 15 for these tires, so 7 lap old tires, whereas Ridwan and Pernas are on 2 lap old tires going into the 3rd lap. So I'm just going to quickly check the time between Ridwan and Blue Racer, 4.6. So Ridwan only closed by 0.2 seconds that lap. They are both on the same compound of tyre, but Ridwan was battling Pernas at the start of that lap, so that held him up a little bit. Banana Cake Pie looks to be under pressure now from Macaulay behind him. Macaulay might be sending one down the inside. No, he doesn't, just tucks back into position. The two Genesis boys running 5th and 6th. Though they are not from the same team, just both have that love for the Hyundai Genesis.
Yaratel is P10 right now.
Yeah.
He had a very good race, but I don't know what happened.
That's odd, because I'm not sure what happened there. His last lap was 2 minutes 11, so he either went to the pits or made a really big error, because 2 minutes 11 around Fuji is not a good time, to say the least. So he must have had an incident or had to pit again, so that's really odd. He was running in the podium positions for majority of this race. But back up the front, we have Blue Racer, who is now only 3.8 seconds. So Ridwan has closed in by 0.8 seconds the last lap. So he's closing with a few laps to go. 8.5 laps to go. It's kicking off now. It's getting really close. It'll be interesting to see how this unfolds.
1 second already has been closed, and it's been only 2 laps, and I feel that it will be closed.
He's really pushing the car, Ridwan is, but I don't know if it'll be a little bit too late. We'll just have to see what the satellite racing driver has up his sleeve.
Yes. And also there is 0.731 seconds gap between Ridwan F1 and Pernas.
Yep.
So he's closing the gap also.
Yeah, Ridwan and Pernas have just been together for majority of they're not really increasing their gap nor closing the gap, which is still, we have to remember that Pernas is making his debut today and Ridwan is the championship leader, so to be maintaining this pace with the championship leader is really good from Pernas and quality stuff from him. especially on his debut.
Yeah.
We have
Also, it's exciting to see challengers for a championship.
Yep. And a new challenger probably for the championship. A bit too late maybe, but I don't know. Anything can happen. We've seen in this series that anything can happen, and it's been a really good series thus far. And I'm sure it will continue to provide quality racing.
Maybe it's a bit early to say, but you know, next week there will be Nürburgring, and it's always exciting to see the races over there. So I can't wait to see it.
Yep, it will be an interesting showdown. Last two races, Rudon has used the Jaguar, so he will be in the Lamborghini again for Nürburgring, and Blue Racer will be in the Subaru WRX for Nürburgring because he's used the Porsche 911 for the last two races. So WRX v Lamborghini. It'll be interesting to see how those two fare in that battle.
Yeah.
As Ridwan, you can even see now how much he has closed. He's really closed in that gap in the last few laps. Let's see how far they are now. 2.8 seconds. 2.8 seconds with 7 laps to go. Ridwan's closing big time. He's getting close, and he can sense a victory is possible. He knows that a victory is possible, and he's gonna be pushing like hell now.
Yeah, only 6 laps left, and he will do whatever he can.
Yep, 6.5 laps to go. As Macaulay pulls alongside, he was thinking about sending one down the inside of Lunacy into turn 1, but thought better of it and just keeps his position for now. They're both on soft tires, both on equally worn out soft tires, I'd say. So good battle for P5 there, and a good scrap between the two of them. It'll be interesting to see how they fare. Battle for P4, my bad. As Lunacy picks up a half a second penalty from an incident earlier, I suppose. Didn't really catch that. Must have run one. Blue Race is entering the last corner now, and so is Ridwan. So Ridwan's really just following him now, like practically following him through the corners. That's how much he's closed up. But he does get a bit squirmish at the exit of the final corner, but just holds on to it. Maybe a bit too eager there, Ridwan. Accelerating a bit early, trying to close that gap as quickly as possible. Now we are down to 2.2 seconds. 2.2 seconds with 6 laps to go. Under 6 laps to go.
He is closing with Blue Racer 7 and opening with Pernus.
Yep. He's slightly open to Pernus. They're both on the same strategy, so again, it's still a really good performance from Pernus, as we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
As we see, Macaulay has passed Lunacy into P4. So Macaulay, after qualifying P3, then dropping down to last at the start, he's clawed back up to P4 after a good turn of events for the driver from England.
Yeah. He's getting better and better at the end of the race.
Yeah. Just slowly improving throughout this race, and he's made his way up to P4. Speaking of drivers who were running in the podium positions, Yeratel, after having such a good start to the race, is only in P9, so been a tough turn of events for him, as it has been for the Stone Towel as well, who is now running in last place after looks like another pit stop at lap 24 or incident at lap 24. But back to the front of the grid, we have Blue Racer still trying to hang on. 5 laps to go. At this point he's just hanging on for dear life. He's just trying to see if you can see this one out. Only 1.4 seconds now ahead of Ridwan F1. 1.4
Very
seconds.
good performance from Ridwan.
under 5 laps to go. Very good performance from all three of them, to be fair. All three of them are really giving it their all. It's an insane race.
Yes, when you check after P3, there is Macaulay, and there are 25.886 seconds gap. So
Yeah.
very good performance from the top 3 drivers.
Yeah, the top 3 have just checked out from the rest of the grid. 25.8 seconds is a huge gap. It sounds 25 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but in terms of racing, that's huge. So
Yeah.
really well done to the 3 of them. Lunacy has managed to get his way back past Macaulay, so good racing, good battling from the 2 of them, and good to see Lunacy making a move. But Macaulay sends one down the inside of the hairpin. Great move there from Macaulay. Did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
He just sent it from nowhere and made it stick. And the best thing about it is that it was clean, it was hard, and it was fair, and that's what we love to see. But Lunacy looks like he's gonna try send it around the outside. Is he gonna just putting a lot of pressure, but not much that he can do. Meanwhile, back at the front of the grid, Ridwan looks like he's managed to get into the toe of Blue Racer. This is the moment. 4 laps to go, under 4 laps to go now.
Wow.
Ridwan's into the toe. He's probably gonna what is it? He's gonna send it down the inside. Is it? No, he's gonna stop. He's gonna switch back. He's switching all over the place. It's a battle for the ages between these two. Ridwan sends it now down the inside.
This is a very nice battle.
Now the outside of turn 2/3, is he gonna keep it? He keeps his foot stuck to the accelerator and keeps the position.
Yes.
Ridwan moves into P1. It was inevitable. Has much fresher tires than Blue Racer, and nothing Blue Racer could do about it. But that's not gonna stop him from trying. He's gonna try.
Mental.
He's gonna keep on trying. He's gonna try to make a move probably into this next corner. Now that he is into the slipstream of Ridwan F1. The 2 of these drivers have shown why they are just so highly rated. But unfortunately for Blue Racer, he was not able to send one into that corner, as Ridwan maintains the lead for now. But Blue Racer is right on his heels, and as they fight, Yeratil, or Pernas, my apologies, looks to see if there's an opportunity to take maybe even a victory on his debut. Meanwhile, more action. Macaulay has made his way past Lunacy and is still keeping it for now. Banana Cake Pie is ahead of Christopherek, but they are really close together. So lots of battles going on simultaneously, which is why we love this series so much. But back to the front. Blue Racer now is in the toe of Ridwan F1. Is he going to be able to? No, he's not going to be able to make a move into turn 1. The grunt from that Porsche 911 is just unable to compare with the grunt from the Jaguar F-Type, unfortunately for Blue Racer.
The gap between them is 0.570. So
0.5 a
it
second
seems
between
like
the 2
the
of them.
gap is. So I don't think he will manage to,
As Christopherek, sorry, but Christopherek is sending one
position.
down the inside of turn 1 at Banana
yes.
Cake Pie. And he makes it stick. That was a daring move there from Christopherek. Sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
it was a really good move there from Christopherek.
That was a very good move.
Yeah. Just so many battles going on at the same time. It's hard to keep up with all of them, but we're trying our best. The top 3 running so close to each other. They practice ahead of the Lunacy, keeping his good performance going. Christopherek keeps his position ahead of Banana Cake Pie for now. So the Stone Sow now is really close to Rachel Head. So another battle is about to begin between the Stone Tow and Rachel Head. Meanwhile, the front runners are into the second last lap, the penultimate lap of the race. As Pernas looks like he's been closing in. Pernas looks like he's closing in on Blue Racer, so will we see Pernas try to make a move? I'm not sure, but there's still a possibility. Meanwhile, on the front straight, sorry, Lunacy pulls alongside of Macaulay into the braking zone. Who's going to come out on top? It's Macaulay. He's just late on the brakes with that Genesis over Lunacy's Aston Martin V12 Vantage. So Macaulay keeps his position for now, but he's got Lunacy breathing down his neck. Meanwhile, in P6 and 7, Christofferek looks like he's opened up a little bit of a gap to Banana Cake Pie, so that battle has settled down a bit. And the Stone Towel has managed to find his way past Rachel Head. Back up to the front, Ridwan F1 has checked out a little bit from Blue Racer, so looks like the Australian will, if he doesn't make any mistakes, he will be on for his 3rd win in a row and 3rd win of the season, extending his gap at the top of the championship. Meanwhile, in P2 and P3, we've got Pernas closing in on Blue Racer. Is he going to try to get P2 on his debut? He's thinking about it, and he sends it down the inside.
He will make his move.
Yep, he does. Just as you mentioned it, he makes a move down into turn 1. What a move. He was just so late on the brakes. And it was with the fresher tires, he was able to make the move on Blue Racer, but we know Blue Racer's nature. He's not going to give up. He never gives up. He's going to fight it till the end. And he's going to probably try to...
Yes.
Yeah. He's probably going to try a move into the next braking zone, which is hard because Pernas closes the door on him. But now Blue Racer is going to have the run on him as he's a bit squirmish coming out of that corner. Blue Racer's into the slipstream. Yeah, Pernas knows that. He goes defensive and forces Blue Racer to the outside of the track. Blue Racer has a switchback, but again, Pernas just has the inside line. But Blue Racer is still trying. He will not let up. That is the man's nature. He will not let up.
He never gives up.
Yeah, but Pernas is managing just to park it on the apex of every corner, and defending is insane. The defending from Pernas at the moment is just simply insane. It's world class. Looks like he is going to stay ahead, but the winner of the Fuji and one of the greatest races is Ridwan F1. P2 to Pernas, just at the line ahead of Blue Racer. So P2 on his debut. What a performance from Pernas. P3 for Blue Racer. Really good performance from all 3 of them.
That was a very good race.
Yeah, probably the best race.
Also, there was, very clean battles, and there were lots of, actions which we wanted to see. So I'm really looking forward to next races.
Yep. As Macaulay crosses the line in P4, so great performance after dropping down to last place. In P5 we got Lunacy, P6 Christofferek, who was closing in by the looks of it, but just couldn't close in quick enough. P7 to Banana Cake Pie, P8 to Alex_Pato, P9 to Yarato, who started P8, was in P3, but unfortunately his strategy did not work out today.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in P10 and 11 is the other 2 Porsche 911s that have entered this race. The Stone Tao in P10 after a difficult race. He's a really good driver, but unfortunately today his luck did not go his way. And in P11, Rachel Had, who's also been unlucky these last few races. Hopefully we'll see better from them in the next race and Nürburgring GP. P10 for the Stone Tao, and rounding off the grid is Rachel Had. What a race that was. An excellent race. Probably the best, arguably the best I've seen.
Yes. I think it was the best so far.
Yeah. No doubt about it. It's just filled with action, filled with clean battles. It was really good. I enjoyed that one.
Yes.
I will quickly check on the standings right now. I have them on my phone. I will get them for you. So, a few things to notice though. There have been some penalties given out to some drivers. So, the Alex Pato receives the 10-second penalty for not using the required. Macaulay dropped down to P7 and Alex underscore Pato dropped down to P9. The standings after round 4. P1 we've got Ridwan F1 who has a 44-point gap to P2 Lunacy. So 44 points after 4 rounds. Pretty solid gap there between the two of the drivers. In P3 we have Blue Racer. In P4 we have Banana Cake Pie. P5 we had Bodhod who was unfortunately unable to make this race. P6 we have Bierto. P7 we have Macaulay. P8 we have the Stone Cell. P9 Christofferek who continues to improve. P11 in the first race, P9 in the second race, P6 in the third race, P5 in the fourth race. Like you said, he's been jumping up the grid. And
Yes.
yeah, and rounding out the top 10, we've got GT Banana Josh. So that's the standings for you. In the teams championship, you got West Pacific Racing on top, Bert in second, and Schnoz in third. But we know Bert's consistency; they will probably return to the top step sooner or
Yes.
later. Anyway, it's been a great race, great round. Been a pleasure
It's been a
commentating with
very
you.
good race.
Yep,
Yes, it's been a very, it's been a pleasure to commentate with you. So see you next week at Nürburgring.
yep. Thank you guys for watching and subscribe if you liked it, like the video if you liked it, and we'll see you all next week at the Nürburgring. Thank you.
Thank you very much.